So for all of us that are growing in northern climates, we need to start really early in the season some of our plugs, tomatoes, onions, leeks, especially if we're grafting the tomatoes. And it's not practical nor economical to start the nursery in winter times. And so we do a lot of the early seedlings indoor. And when we're in the context of a house, the best and economical way to do this is to have a grow tent. So the grow tent is really simple and straightforward. It has some systems that we'll go through. And the goal here again is to jumpstart the season by 2, 3, 4 weeks prior to starting your nursery. And with the low investments that this is, it's really worth it. So the main feature about the grow tent is that you can seal it off and then have it operate at optimal temperature and humidity without messing with all of these parameters in the house. This one has a really cool feature, which is a window, which allows you to simply look through and make sure that all your temperatures and the humidity is at the right setting. This is a really straightforward setup where you open it and then you can operate in it. System number one is racking shelves, and these are really simple. They don't need to be high-tech. You need to have enough clearance though so that you can put the domes that you'll need for early germination with optimal humidity. Then we have on all of them individual heat mats. So for all of the shelves, we have a separate heat mat which is connected to a separate thermostat that allows you to set the temperature to either optimal germination or the kind of temperature you want for your root zone. And the thermostat is connected to the probe, and then you simply put the probe into the soil mix, and then you set your temperature, the optimal temperature for each of the individual seedlings that you're starting. When purchasing the shelves, you want to optimize the size to fit the trays, both in width and in length. And so this is really perfect here, and have enough room for the lights. And the lights is also the size of the racking. So all of this needs to be figured out before you make your purchases. And you buy it once and then you'll have it for many years. We favor LED lighting for two important reasons. The first one is that there's going to be a lot of them connected to the AC plug. And if you don't want your fuses to blow, it's just much more energy efficient to buy these Dell lights. They also won't be generating heat, which in the end will help you better control the overall humidity and temperature of your grow room. So there's different kind of lights out there, and you should just make sure that you're getting the lights that will offer the full spectrum for what you're growing. For tomatoes, you want to have perhaps something more than when you're growing onions and when you're growing lettuce. Just make sure that you do your homework on that end. Again, the lights offer full spectrum for the trays, so even the corners and the sides will get enough light. And you want to have about 2-inch clearance. And so this is a really simple setup to adjust your lighting. It's just a little chain. System number 3 is controlling the humidity and the temperature of your grow room. This will tell you humidity and it will give you temperature, and you place it in front so that you can really see it. It'll measure also the high and the low, which is another important thing. So if something goes wrong, you want to know what the problem was. It's good to know that perhaps humidity went down or temperature went too high. And ideally it's connected to an alarm system that's going to advise you if humidity or temperatures are out of whack and not in the optimal zone. So this is connected to the heating system, which this one is made for indoor grow rooms. It's really nice. And this one is also connected to a thermostat. And the probe is in the middle of the room, okay? The humidifier is a really important part of the grow room because especially when you're grafting, you really want to get high humidity levels. And so, you know, it's worthwhile to invest in one that's going to be, it's perhaps made for this, or that's going to be, you know, on the professional level, measuring, you know, being able to set perhaps numerically the humidity levels that you want. The grow room has some exhausts also. So these are built-in windows that you can open and close if it's too humid, or you just open the door. And it also has some exhaust fans that you can buy and set into here. So it's ready for that. System number 4 is to have fans that make it so that the ambient air is always moving, so that there's no moisture or problems. So we have some simple fans. So the tent has reflecting walls to optimize temperature and also the light, which is really ideal. It's really designed to do exactly what we're doing, which is growing inside a house. So the last thing about the grow room, again, is that we're trying to maximize space, and the constraint is that we're in a house. So the watering aspect becomes, you know, something to deal with. We don't want to be watering over the trays, because then the water is going to percolate down, hit the lights. And so we simply slide out of the grow house, and then we have this bassin which fits really nice with the trays, and then we'll just water over the tub. And that's how we deal with that. That's also how we'll operate if we need to make seedlings inside the house. All right, so that's it for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed. It's definitely seed starting season, and I'm doing some of this work here in my nursery, and I'm actually giving a workshop right now in the next 2 weeks on successful seed starting, sharing you all the basics, but also tricks from a pro, stuff that you've perhaps never seen before that you'll be interested in. Check it out. All the information is on the link below. Registration is free. And if anything, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope your seedlings are growing. I'm doing super good. I'll see you next time. Jay, I'm out.